Hello everybody, welcome to the ToniSport Newsfeed. Today we are back for you with another video clip, and it will be all about the belt tension and the drive belts generally, which we are using in our touring cars. I just want to give you some advices and some tips, and I would say let's get the video started. Okay, let's take a closer look here on the race car. The current touring cars on the market, they are almost all featuring the mid motor or the mid drivetrain layout, which means that the front and the rear belt is in the same length. So this makes the belt tension very important, and you can adjust the belt tension. Normally in every car it's the same. You will have a bearing and this kind of an eccentric piece from plastic or from aluminum, and with these parts you can adjust the position of your spool or of your gear differential in the bulkheads. The bulkheads, they feature different slots, and when you turn around this eccentric bushing, you can move the spool more to the front or to the rear, and the diff as well. And as you move one of these components inwards or outwards the car, you will tighten or loosen the belt. So with these eccentric inserts you can adjust the belt tension. For the belt tension, it is easy to say that you need a little bit kind of a stronger belt tension when you're running with a strong modified motor, as there is more torque and more RPM. And when you're running stock with 13.5 or 17.5 motors, for example, you normally can go with a little bit a looser setting here on the belts, because that will free up the drivetrain, will make the car roll with a little bit less resistance from the belts and from the drivetrain, and this will maybe give you some kind of a benefit. So keep in mind, when you're running modified, you need a little bit stronger belt tension compared to stock classes. But now it is not possible to measure the belt tension in any way and to point out values or something like that. It is important that you know what you are doing, and that you try to adjust the belt tension as strong as needed, but as loose as possible for the class you are racing. And the best way is to listen to the car when you are on the track. So you don't want the belt to skip over the pulleys when you are accelerating or braking. And normally you can easily hear that when you are going on throttle out of a corner, or when you are braking into a corner. When the belt will skip front or rear, you normally will be able to hear that. If you are not sure, just make sure that the front belt is tightened a little bit harder than the rear belt. This makes sense because when you are accelerating out of a corner and your front belt is a little bit harder than the rear one, your car will accelerate out of the corner a little bit more easy in a straight line, because the front gets pulled forward a little bit earlier than the rear when the belt tension is not the same. In the opposite direction, when you have a harder rear belt compared to the front, then your rear axle will overdrive the front axle, because as all the force will come here from the center of your drivetrain, then in this case your rear axle will get the forward drive a little bit earlier than the front, and then your car will be aggressive and not so easy to drive out of the corner. So this is some kind of basic information I can give you about the belt tension. Now, as we are looking closer to a standard belt, it is important that you look at your belt from time to time to check the conditions of the teeth. And when it looks worn out or full of debris, you have to clean it, or you have to replace the belt from time to time. And I always recommend to change the front and the rear belt at the same time when you do it, because of the amount of wear on the belt. Then you should change both of them. Also, it is important to check that your pulleys are always clean. On some tracks, especially outdoor, when they are maybe racing other scaled cars, for example 1/5 scale cars, they always put a lot of rubber down on the track. And when you're running on a high bite carpet track, it is the same. There's some kind of a gluing tire rubber and additive slime which you will pick up with your pulleys and with the belt. And when you have too much debris in your pulley or in the belt, this will affect your drivetrain, as the teeth of the belt cannot work efficient together with the pulley, and this will cost you some drivetrain efficiency, and it will make the belt and the pulleys wear out faster, and you maybe will have a belt skipping only because of the dirt in the parts. So from time to time, just pull out a diff and a pulley and the belts and check all these things. And when you are on a track where you know that there's a lot of dirt on the track, you should check these conditions of the parts after every run. Last but not least, I wanted to show you a product which is called a belt booster. This one here, for example, from MR33. The belt booster is used to lubricate, refresh and protect and decrease the friction between the parts in plastic and rubber. That's what is pointed out here on the bottle. You can apply the belt booster in small amounts on the inside, on the teeth of your belt. You can do this when the belt is not installed in the car, and you also can do it like this when the belt is in the car, and you can turn around your drivetrain. And when you apply a small amount of belt booster to your drive belts, it will have a better contact with the pulleys. You will have a more efficient drivetrain, and you will have a little bit less wear on the parts. So the belt booster seems to be really interesting and really important to have, and it will make your life a little bit easier when you are running touring car. So once again, always check the belt tension, try to run it as loose as possible and only as hard as you need without the belt skipping over the pulleys. You can hear it when you are practicing alone on the track, for example. And if you are not sure how to set them up and you don't want to have the rear belt stronger than the front one, that's the way to go. The front belt can always be a slightly amount tighter than the rear belt, or you can go with the exact the same settings, front and rear. Okay guys, that's our video clip for today, all about drive belts and belt tension. I think it's easy to see that there are quite a lot of small details which you always have to care about to get the best performance out of your drive belts and out of your race car on the track. And I hope that you liked the video as much as I liked to make it for you. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel until now, just do it and make sure that the bell is on. You will never miss a YouTube video from ToniSport in the future. Thanks for watching, and always keep in mind, race with ToniSport, you will never race alone. We see us in the next video. Enjoy RC racing and see you soon. Goodbye.